Hello everyone, we're back with a Backstage Q&A. We had a few people asking about super chats. They weren't enabled for some reason, and now they are enabled. So fire in your questions using the super chat button, and we will answer them as best we can, and know that you're also supporting us and supporting the stream. So very kind of you. It was a good show, Mark.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. It was, obviously it's weird game week because we're not going to look beyond the Spurs assets, are we? I think we decided that going for 3 Spurs players probably wasn't the best route with 33 in mind and with the EFL Cup final. So there wasn't too many contentious issues to discuss, but the Bruno conundrum is interesting going forward, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I mean, I remember you said that, you're priced out of Calvert-Lewin to Cavani or Lacazette because you want to do Son, but you might actually do Fernandes, right, which will give you a bit more money.
Yeah. And it's because Cavani and Greenwood have come forward as options. That's before that. I mean, that changes the complexion a lot, doesn't it? Because Fernandes was the only option worth considering. Rashford's so inconsistent, does well over the season, but you can't rely on him. Whereas I think Cavani does look reliable as number 9 for them, and Greenwood's obviously cheaper and coming into some form. So we've got some questions coming in. Let's hit those.
We have indeed. So Manprit says, is using the triple captaincy chip on Son worth it this game week to get a good rank rise? My overall rank is 28k, and Kane is my captain. I mean, I really don't want to enter into another debate about triple captain chips because it frustrates me more than any other thing, even more than EO, I think. At 28k, it depends on what you want to do for me. If you really want to push into the top 10k, 1k, whatever, then I think, going for the differential captain on Son over Kane, I would be tempted to do it. But that said, I think Kane is the best option. And I think the triple captaincy on Kane is the easiest option if you've got it. I think it's the best option. I don't think you're going to get a better triple captain pick.
Yeah, and I think you've got to think that there'll be people above him who don't have the triple captainship.
Yeah, of course.
So you've got a differential there in a way. I would play safe on Kane this week. Like we said in the show, there are some options coming up which look really nice that you can use to push for. I don't think going Son over Kane would be a call I'd make. If I was 28k in the world as well, that's a good position to be in. You should be able to make up ground with just having the triple captainship this week, I think. I think
unless you're really thinking, I want to push for that like top 1k position, in which case you need to do things a bit differently to kind of what other people are doing. I just think triple captain Kane is what I'd do in that position, personally.
Yeah, I think I'd stick with it as well. Nihal, Kamami, one to bench Rudiger, double defence or Saka. Who would you bench, Rudiger or Saka? Who have Arsenal got this week? Remind me.
Fulham at home.
Saka played in Europe, scored in Europe as well, didn't he? I still would play Rudiger myself. I mean, Brighton are suspect at set plays. Rudiger's strong in the air, Mount's delivery. I don't see Brighton scoring myself. I do think Arsenal will win that game. I think I'd put them down for a victory, 2-1, I think. But I still think Saka's the better option. I mean, Rudiger's the better option there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's close. I think I don't think either has an absolutely massive ceiling, so I don't think you're going to be burnt too much by which one you go for. I don't think Brighton will score against Chelsea. I'm a bit negative around that. Saka has come back from an injury. It's against Fulham, who should put up a fight, and they've had Europe, so it's a bit tricky. I like to favour the attacker, so I'm tempted to go with Saka, but I think I probably would go with Rudiger.
The thing is with Rudiger as well, you can play him, and I don't think he comes off the bench. So if you play him and he doesn't figure, it's not like Reece James or Alonso where there's always a chance they come on. So that's why he's very useful. So I don't think he'll get rested, but if he does, you'll get Saka off the bench then. So that's the way I'd go as well. Yeah. Next one, Naz?
Dal, pound from Dal. Thanks, Dal.
Thank you, Dal.
So we're going around with a little collection pot, and people.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
No, thanks. It is. I mean, honestly, the money side isn't important to us, but we do appreciate all.
No, and we are. Any money we do make on the show, we're investing in the show. I mean, Lord knows we bought a lot of equipment and stuff over the last few months, and we're going to do more of that. And yeah, hopefully next season you'll see the show move on a bit more in terms of the tech and what we do. So it's very much appreciated.
Sam O'Brien, thanks Sam. Great show again, guys. Do you think people overthink hits rather than just making the moves that they want? I don't really know. I mean, I almost see using hits to make the moves that I want rather than overthinking them. It gives you a way of getting in players that you want to get quicker, And sometimes I think that is maybe the downfall, because you're less patient, and maybe you're getting rid of good players or players with good fixtures and stuff, kind of trying to be impatient and getting control. I mean, I've been burned by that loads of times, particularly this season, when I think about players that I've got rid of, and could I have held off for one more week and not taken the hit and done better out of it? Probably. But I do think there is something, and if you think a hit could pay off, or if you want to back yourself and you need to do it, then I think you should take it.
I mean, I'm all for hits in the early part of the season when you can get players in and ride the price rises. And I think I said whether I need to change that strategy, because it always leads me to never having a clear game week to play the wild card then, because I've done repairs through hits. So that's something I'm going to assess over the summer. This stage of the season, I'm less inclined to do them. I've slowed right down on the number of hits. And we talked about the Calvert-Lewin to Cavani hit on the show. One thing we didn't touch on is Everton will have that double game week, right? They're definitely going to have a double game week, and it's probably going to be 35. So I think that really might talk me out of that situation, because Everton will have their extra fixture.
Injured players are always nice to.
But because there's less of a gamble, isn't there? Taking hits for players who are active, even if they got a bad fixture, is difficult. I think what Sam is getting at here is that, do they take a hit for kind of real punts? Like, for example, last week, would I have taken a hit for Sterling? No, I wouldn't. The reason I got Sterling in last week is because it was a wild card and it gave me that opportunity to go for a punt for free. I would never use a hit to go for a punt. It'd always be for someone I'm very sure about. So
you want that long term. A hit doesn't need to repay you in 1 week. That's the key, isn't it? The hit can repay you in 1, 2, 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, you either want returns over a longer period, or that you're gonna get value out of getting them early because they're rising in price over the next 2 to 3 weeks. Like Jota's a case in point. Would I have taken a hit for Jota last week if I didn't have a wildcard? Possibly, because he's risen 3 times. And if that was a factor, if that meant that in a few weeks' time I couldn't get Jota, it might have driven me to make a hit to get him. But I don't think that was a risk, because Jota's got good fixtures and he's a key player, and he is going up in price all the time. So
our good friend Connor Richardson, thank you very much, Connor. He says, thanks Mark and Naz for the amazing shows throughout the season, love it. He says, hopefully he finishes strong and represents BlackBox near the top of the world. Yeah, you need to sort yourself out, Connor.
Yeah,
Come on.
Get it together. What's going on? It's crazy. We're relying on you. No, it's good to hear from him, and a very loyal supporter in the chat as well. So, and he's donated another £5 later on. He's going crazy. Don't spend all your money on us. Save it for the celebrations, for the drinks when you've won their thing. But Yash has asked a question in between that.
Yeah, so it ties into hits. Thoughts on this -8? Calvert-Lewin, Dean and Gundogan to Kane, captain, Cody and Jesse Lingard. Oh, that's a nice
overall 20k. Yeah, I mean, what appeals there is, if you haven't got Kane, I think a hit is worth it to get Kane this week, because effective ownership, I don't know if you've heard of that, as it's quite a big thing. It's going to be enormous on him, isn't it? So I think
just those 3 players, like the 3 players you're taking out, I don't expect to do that well, and the 3 players you're bringing in, I all expect to return this week.
Yeah, but the other thing is Everton do have that double game week, so do you need to do both the Everton guys, and bear that double game week in mind? But to be honest, I mean, Everton are so inconsistent that even with 2 fixtures in a game week, I wouldn't.
You need the money though, right? If you're doing Calvert-Lewin to Kane, you're going to need to do Dean to someone. I'd do it. Yeah. I mean, he then says lingering on a -12 with Neto to Saka. I wouldn't do that.
No,
just wait a week for that.
Yeah,
if Saka, he could repay 4 points, but depending on who your bench is, I'd do the -8. Depending on who your bench. If you've got no one on your bench, then it's a bit different.
I mean, Gundogan, there's no guarantee he plays, is there? Right, against Villa, because he's definitely been prone to rotation. I think he's only played 2 of the last 4. Kane plays and he's everyone's captain. Cody, Sheffield United at home, Lingard, irresistible, and at Newcastle. I think you're going to get your 8 points back through Kane, Cody, and Lingard, really. And Calvert-Lewin doesn't play. Dina's got Spurs, not a clean sheet, I don't think. And Gundogan, could get something. He's the one that could hurt you, but in long term, I don't think Gundogan's a player you necessarily need to hold on to. There's so many options in midfield, and he's going to miss matches between now and the going to be 38. He's going to miss at least 2 or 3, I would say. So I'd do it. Yep,
I agree. Mina Sitom often gives us some money, so thanks very much. When's a good time to use the bench boost? I've missed off Connor. Sorry, Connor.
Yeah.
I made an angry Monday night knee-jerk transfer. Rafinha and Calvert-Lewin out for Lingard and Iheanacho. Yeah, I mean, great moves. You're not going to get burnt on those because they're both going to do well, and Rafinha's a doubt and Calvert-Lewin's out. So, yeah, great moves. And he's asked, does he have to go for Kane triple captain? I think so. Yeah. Particularly if I was in your position.
Yeah, I it is safe, it is boring, but I think there's a reason for that. You look at the Everton defence at home will concede opportunities. Southampton definitely will, as long as Kane plays and Spurs are interested, which they should be, because I don't think they can count on winning the EFL Cup at all against City. So, Mourinho's still got to go for top 4, no matter how far out of reach it looks. So, yeah, I'd do it. You got to, I think.
Yep. So now we come to Mina Sedon. When is a good time to use the bench boost? How the hell have you still got your bench boost left? He still has mine. Would he use it on Forster, Holding, Vidra, Dallas? Also, can I be an apprentice? No.
Because you play FPL. Yeah. I wouldn't use it yet. I mean, I'd use it in 35, surely. That's what you do. I mean, it's always better in the double game week because in a double game week, you've got more chance of your 11 playing. Right? In a single game week, like look at my situation with Alonso and Rafinha, for example. If I was bench boosting this week and Alonso and Rafinha don't make the team, that's 2 of my bench gone. So my bench boost is suddenly down to just 2 players. And in a single game week, you've always got that problem. Whereas in a double game week, when you've got some of your 11 playing twice, presumably there's a good chance they're at least going to play 1. So your bench is going to remain in place.
Yeah.
So,
and the 4 players he's mentioned will have better fixtures. I mean, Forster's got Spurs, Vidra's got United, Dallas has got Liverpool. Like you'll get better games out of them.
Hold it for 35. There's double game weeks definitely coming, so hold it for them. Yeah,
I'll definitely save it. Savage FPL says, wanted to show my support for the channel and top content. Thank you very much. My question: when is the best week left to play the free hit? Can navigate 33 if needs be. I mean, I do like 33, depending on what your team. If you've got loads of City and Spurs and stuff, then it might be easier than kind of taking them all out. Especially because Spurs have got that Sheffield United game straight afterwards. But we talked about Ben Crellin. We don't really know what's going to be happening at the end of the season. I'd be tempted to save it. I used my free hit in game week 38 last year. Complete disaster.
Well, it's a
complete disaster.
It's a very difficult game week to predict that one.
It's
a good roll of the dice though to have up your sleeve. Like, I mean, he says he can navigate. He or she says they can navigate game week 33. So I would be tempted to hold it if you look okay for 33. If you've got 1 or no City, if you've only got a couple of Spurs and you've got your bench to come in, then I'd be tempted to hold it. The fixtures in 33 aren't brilliant. I don't think. I don't think there's any obvious kind of opportunities there. Maybe there are. I'll have a quick look, but I don't from memory feel that is a game week which, if I was playing a free hit, I can think, right, I can get on these players and nobody else can. Let's have a quick look just for completeness sake, because I won't forgive myself if I miss an opportunity. So it's Arsenal, Everton, Liverpool, Newcastle, West Ham, Chelsea. You're going to have Salah and Jota, right? So that's fine. We're looking at opportunities to get on players that no one else is going to have. Would you go Havertz, for example, at West Ham? Probably not, because West Ham's defence is strong. You wouldn't get on a Wolves player because they haven't got Neto at home to Burnley, even though that's a strong fixture. Leeds, Man United, but you're going to have players in those teams anyway. Villa at home to West Brom. Grealish is probably the profile of a player that you could look at getting in. But is he going to score big? He likes a derby against West Brom. So it's really Leicester against Palace. If you've got Leicester players already, if you've got Nacho, if you've got Iheanacho, then you've got it more or less covered. So you could free hit and go heavy on Maddison Iheanacho and Vardy, but I don't think it's worth it. I would hold it. I would hold it if you can navigate. I don't think there's great opportunity there to play it just for the sake of trying to get differentials.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. Garang Barot says, thanks for a great show. I always look forward to this. You're like this. You're both good players. Thank you. And very cultured.
Yeah, I love the arts. Don't you love the arts? Bit of opera, bit of ballet.
Yes,
that's what that means, doesn't it? That's what culture means. Yeah.
You know, lads, love all those arty films and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Love Island, that's part of it as well.
Yeah, very cultured. Yeah. FPL Sponge, Son worth a -4 if playing the save free hit. Yeah, I'd get Son for -4. I think he's a great option. And I think, you know, depending on whether you can keep him for Sheffield United, I'd want him for that game as well. So in terms of a hit, I think it's sensible. Kind of obviously depending on who you're getting rid of. But if you're getting rid of a kind of a bit of a dead rubber type player, then there's not many players where I think a hit could come in like Son. So yeah, I'm all for that.
Yeah, and that is one thing about free hitting and 33. It means you can dead end your team. In this
Very
week.
Nice word.
It's a hip phrase. It's like in the mud, isn't it? I don't know where dead end came. I don't know who introduced dead ended, but it means you could get Lucas Moura in as one of your free transfers this week, or your free transfer, and knowing that you can free hit in 33 and get away with having 3 Spurs. But again, if you can navigate 33, I don't think the free hit necessarily has to be played then. There's so much uncertainty about game weeks 35, 36, 37 that I'd be almost tempted to hold it as well. But -4 on Son, yeah, I think it's probably worth it. I mean, Son's the type of player could do anything in these fixtures. Obviously, he could blank, but I think he plays both games. And like I've said, Everton and Southampton are opponents who are going to give opportunities. So I think there's at least one return there.
Yep. God, I don't know. Aki Midge has given us £1. Thank you very much. Maybe put that towards a new keyboard because your name doesn't make sense. It might just be bashing the keyboard.
Do you think it? Yeah, I'm sure that isn't his name. I'm sure you haven't offended anyone there. That's fine. I've lost them. I've lost my last super chat is SWATs now. I've lost it, so you'll have to go from here.
Okay, I'll carry on. Kumar Kuntipuram, thank you very much.
I see them. Yeah,
appreciate it. Alexis Shilko, this is one of our bigger super chats. So this is in Czech 499. I had to look up how much that was. About £16, Mark.
Blimey, Alexis, steady on.
I know, not even a question there. So thank you.
Thank you, Alexis. That's very kind of you indeed.
Very, very kind. That will pay for some of Mark's shed.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm buying all kinds of stuff for it at the moment. So Pete's helping me.
The trouble is, you taught me into it as well. Like these bloody cameras. You've got yours. And you look so good, and I was like, oh.
Well, that's why I look less than 30 years old, because I've got the filter on high, and that's why you had to get a camera because you couldn't.
I know.
I don't look. I just for I am 50 this year, by the way, just so people know I'm nowhere near 30 anymore. So yeah,
I'm not late 30s.
No,
screwed a lot of you. Oh dear. James Palmer, bench boosting 32. So that's what next week. So everyone's starting.
Bench boosting 32, is he? Interesting.
Keep Saka or shift to Bowen. I like them both.
Bowen's playing up front, of course, at Newcastle, and I have predicted West Ham win that quite heavily.
This is next week. He's bench boosting in 32. So West Ham have got Chelsea at home.
32 is this week.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
32 is now. So he's bench boosting now.
Yeah, I'm just really surprised. Bench boosting this week doesn't look on to me.
Well, he must have the bench to do it, I suppose. I
don't think I'd switch Saka to Bowen. Would you?
I think there's a good chance Saka plays, but he could get rotated. Whereas Bowen is certain to start at Newcastle, and he's a nice differential to have, as is Saka. So if it was a free transfer, I don't know. I think I might be tempted. I mean, did Saka play 90 tonight, for example? Let's have a look. What are Arteta's options? Because Saka is a player he protects. He's come out and said it, and he's done it.
He was player of the match.
Was he? Yeah, well, that means nothing, though. Did he play the 90? Let's have a look. No, he went off after 79. Martinelli, though, is an option to play, right? Martinelli came on for him, and Arsenal fans love Martinelli and will want him to start. I think there's a good chance Saka could get rested in that game.
I'd keep him.
Would you? I like Bowen, though. I think that's a good shout. So I'm difference of opinion here.
You'd say do it.
I'll say do it and go Bowen, and we'll see how that one goes.
Okay.
We'll check that one. Yeah.
James Smith, do you fancy Iheanacho or Jota as triple captains against Spurs, Saints or Palace later in the season? Not sold on triple captain Kane. Worried Spurs players have down tools. Yeah, fair enough. Jota, I don't know if I trust him with triple captain.
Yeah, what fixtures are you talking about Jota for triple captain? Against Southampton?
Against Palace in 38.
Well, Liverpool plays Southampton in 35, so he's thinking, do I go triple captain on Jota against Southampton or Palace later? So Liverpool play Palace at the end at 38. You say the triple captain for there. I mean, is Jota a triple captain candidate? I don't think so yet.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. And it's, you know, I don't know what you think about that Real Madrid game, but it's strange that he didn't play in that. Like they needed, 2 goals, 3 goals to go through, and they don't play what looks like.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
I don't get it. So maybe they're saving him for the league, and that was the kind of target, and they wanted to give him a bit of a rest. I don't really know. But
I mean, I guess that
he's class, but I he's not in that bracket for me. He's not in that triple.
But it's
captain.
the penalties as well.
Penalties.
With the triple captain, you want penalties, don't you? As kind of like a backup. So that's why Salah, Kane, Fernandes are always the kind of sure bets there. So I mean, you know, you're banking on a big return in one game as well. Iheanacho, I mean, again, he won't have penalties with Vardy on the pitch. And I think, you know, having him and captaining him is a differential in itself. Triple captaining, I think it's going too far. So he's saying James is not sold on the triple captain Kane. He's worried Spurs players could down tools. Is it got that bad? I mean,
come on! I think it's a bit of a no-brainer to triple captain Kane. We've said it before. I think if you're looking for a punt, Son's your man.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I don't buy into this.
I know they've down tool. I know they didn't do well, but like I said, they played well against United. You know, I've seen them play a lot worse.
And the thing is, Kane and Son are 2 players in particular who are diligent, conscientious players. They're not moody characters who are going to show their discontent and sulk. No. And maybe there might be other characters in the Spurs lineup who are more like that, but I wouldn't look at it as those 2. And you can say that, well, it's going to need more than Son and Kane to get results at Southampton and Everton. No, it's not. It's not. They're that good. I mean, so the rest of the team could be awful, but if Son and Kane have a good night, they can deliver. But they've done it all season. I mean, Spurs are Son and Kane, and I don't think they're the types of players to down tools. So I think you're taking an unnecessary risk, not triple captaining Kane myself.
Yeah, I agree. You kept it this long, and it's like it's kind of everything's aligning really for it to be him. Midel Delia. I thought the name was Midel, but it's not. Midel's always there on these. Sorry, I will start calling you Delia now. I thought that was it must be your surname. She asked if McCarthy will play again this season. I still have him and Martinez, and would need a change even if I take a hit. I mean, if you've got Martinez, I wouldn't worry. I mean, I was very close to keeping him on my wild card. I think we saw it again against Liverpool. We get saved points. He got a bonus point as well, I think. He's got a couple of games.
He's got a double game week to come.
Yeah, double game week come up. A couple of good games. I think Forster will probably be in this between the posts.
I don't know though. They lost at West Brom heavily, right? And I don't know that Forster is that ensconced as the number 1. I think that he's vulnerable. So I don't think McCarthy's written off yet.
I think it's a bit of a statement though to like play McCarthy for like half the season, then drop him, and then say here's your chance, Forster, and then drop him after a couple of go back. It's just a bit.
I can't see it, no. But if you were listing the 10 most secure goalkeepers, Forster wouldn't be in it. Oh yeah,
right? I agree. I wouldn't be moving. I wouldn't be moving McCarthy out if you got before. I wouldn't be using a keeper change on it.
Just play Martinez and it's fine.
Yeah, I don't think Forster will lose his place between now and the end of the season, personally.
Right, they're fine. Look at Andy Mack. He's bought us a pint.
Well, he's bought us half a pint.
Oh, as well. I'll have the pint.
1 pint between us.
Depends where you go.
So ungrateful.
You are, you miserable sod.
Thanks, Andy. And he says, great show again, guys. Just wanted to treat you both to a pint now. The beer gardens are open. I went to the pub yesterday.
I haven't been yet. I haven't had a pint yet.
It's really nice. I had 5.
Did you? You swine.
It was supposed to be 1, turned into 5. It was nice. Nice to be back in the pub.
I need to go to the pub at the weekend. Don't know.
You should. If you can get a table. I've tried to get a table this weekend. Got everything's booked.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's our friend who I can't pronounce. It's not a foreign name, by the way. I'm not being.
No, you're not. No, you're not. No.
It's a strange combination of letters. Maybe it's a foreign name, and I really am
But we're elite at pronunciations, right? So between us,
Andy, I was only joking. I didn't want you to give us more money.
Oh, put it away, Andy. Put your wallet away.
It was only just a joke.
Buy him one back. Buy him one back.
I will. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. I've just lost the. Oh, there it is. Neto for Traore, Mora, Havertz, or Pereira.
Right, who would you get in for Neto?
Neto is a pain, isn't it? Because
so close to getting him, I was.
Yeah, he was someone who I could see a lot of people targeting on the wild cards. A great run of fixtures, good differential punt. That was a real shame. Out of those four, I think I'll go for Havertz.
Well, it depends. I mean, if you're wild carding to come, and you could possibly wild card all three hitting 33. Mora could be worth a go. But I think, would you not go Pereira? I'd quite fancy Pereira at Leicester. I think they're going to get something. Havertz is the smooth pick, I think.
Yeah, maybe Pereira's on pens as well.
He is, yeah.
And they are fighting. Yeah, okay, I'll change my mind. Pereira.
Yeah, I just think with Europe as well, Havertz will get rested. West Brom have got to win games. I guess Chelsea, it's between Havertz and Pereira. There's no doubt about it. What can you do with the extra money if you go Pereira? I don't think there's too much in it. Pereira's been the top scoring player, second most top scoring player since game week 19, as we saw tonight, which is ridiculous. And I've got no reason to believe that West Brom will ease up until they're down, until maybe 37, 38, when it's mathematically impossible for them to make up ground. But who knows? They might fight right to the end. And Pereira's a great player to have, I think. Great differential. As is Havertz, but Pereira pens as well.
I'm changing mine. I agree. I'll go for Pereira as well. FPL SWAT's given us a £5. Thank you, my friend.
Another one. Oh, thank you very much. That's twice.
Yeah. People are flush with cash tonight.
It's payday for me. Was it payday for them? Maybe that's it. It's,
Dal S. Very questionable spelling of a lot of these players. I'll try and work them out. Martinez, Shaw, Diaz, Cancelo, Son, Salah, Rafinha, Lingard, Iheanacho, Kane. What
bench? For this? McCarthy, Gundogan,
Gundig Vest. Come on, Gundogan. Who's Dig?
Dina must be Dina.
Dina, yeah.
And Vestergaard.
Yeah.
I need a defender for Cancelo. Yeah, Cancelo's funny. He didn't play in Europe. He's been dropped, hasn't he? It seems he played Zinchenko at left back.
Yeah, I was surprised at that.
Well, I tell you what though, the Leeds game, I thought Cancelo was frustrating to watch when you owned him. He's also very frustrating to watch when you don't own him, because obviously I had Sterling, and every time Cancelo got in a good position wide, his crossing is disappointing, isn't it?
I'd keep him.
It's wasteful. Would you?
This week, he hasn't played in Europe.
So he'll play at Villa, won't he?
I would have thought so. I wouldn't get rid of him. Guns to my head, if you're telling me what defender I'd take out for him. I'd probably go for a Leicester one. I'd probably go for Pereira if I could afford it.
He hasn't got a Chelsea defender though, has he? So you've got to. I'd go Rudiger.
Yeah, maybe Rudiger or Azpilicueta.
I wouldn't go him because I can't pronounce it, but Rudiger's good on corners as well. I think the goal threat against Brighton could be very real. I think Brighton at set plays have always had a weakness. I would keep Cancelo first and foremost because I think he will play at Villa.
Yeah. And
we've tipped a clean sheet, so we presume that they're going to. And Grealish isn't going to be back, is he? So let's face it.
It's the wing back potential of the Leicester defenders I like. I think Castagna, or I know you're not sold, but I think maybe probably go for Castagna over Pereira because he's had the injury thing. But yeah, Rudiger's a safe. Rudiger for a safe choice. Castagna for a slightly more exciting one.
Yeah.
Janenagna 77. Would you start Soufal or Dallas? Soufal, Newcastle, target, easy.
Yeah. You got to do that, I think. He could do well there. Certainly. I think Newcastle have got a goal in them in that game, but West Ham can defend very well. And Soufal's always got the attacking threat as well. Not to rival Dallas, but I think you play Soufal. Definitely. Yep. You've got to favour the clean sheet chances, haven't you?
Yep. Bar Villa says, can FPL BlackBox beat the last of the summer wine for episodes? Mark, I thought you would have made an episode when it happens on Scout.
Yeah,
Cast.
I wasn't well.
Happen.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
it happened,
happen.
and that was at the height of my illness, unfortunately.
It was a Granville came on. It
I
was a
know.
very good episode.
I wanted to do it, but I just it's
Do you
it's.
reckon we can surpass that on BlackBox? Because good old.
Will I make it to that many episodes? I mean, I'm 50
years?
this year.
Was it about 7 or 8 years?
Yeah, I guess I've had the vaccine now, so I've got a chance.
Little.
Oh yeah, it might have done. It's still spinning. Yeah, what's going on? No, it still says exit condition with me. Sometimes it does that, and
No, it's better now.
Yeah, it does that now and again. It's really odd how it does that, YouTube. But yeah, it's
weird.
fine. Yeah.
And last one of the night is from Andy Mack again. He's the other pint. Andy, I was only joking. He didn't need to give us another fiver.
What is your tipple, by the way? Just on another subject.
What is my tipple? Well, kind of anything really.
Yeah. You're not a real ale drinker, are you?
Nah, I do like a lager. There's a brewery called Tiny Rebel, which I drink occasionally. They do a beer called Quitch, or Quitch, if you will. I don't know how to pronounce it. It means hug. It's like a red ale type thing, which is really nice. I like them all. I like a whiskey every now and then. Gin and tonic I like.
Gin and tonic is summer drink of choice for me. Pimm's also, but I'm a real ale drinker, so I like a real ale. I'll try anything. Yeah. I'm afraid I'm. You like the fizz, do you?
I like the fizz. I like the lager. Yeah.
One more question, Max de Souza. Gundo Tamora for -4. I don't think so. There's every chance Gundogan plays at Villa. Mora, I don't think. I think Mora will probably play both games. But we saw tonight his data doesn't suggest, that you can bank on any returns. And if it was for a 3, yes. For a -4, no, don't see it. You've got to get something from him. Gundogan could hurt people this week, I think, if he starts.
Mora. No. Get Maddison. There you go.
Not for a hit though. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, do it.
Wouldn't do it. So that's it. We've got The Apprentice out. Hopefully we'll have some. I'll be looking at the inbox in a few days to see what we get in there, see if there's any interest. But it'd be really good to get that up and running for the end of the season. If we can find somebody or some people to do that, and then in the summer we'll be doing some videos with them. It'd be real fun. And into next season. Yeah. But thanks for another great episode, and lovely Q&A, and thanks for all your contributions from the listeners and watchers. I guess that's a good night for me again.
Yep.